Hello people, and welcome to Evidence-Based Practice overview of the subject. So this subject, as you know, is 30 credit points, and remember 30 credit points equates to 300 hours of student effort. Now, student effort includes time spent in face-to-face classes, but it also includes time doing work on assignments and group work and study for the subject. So 300 hours should be set aside for the completion of this subject. Now you'll note from the timetable that you and I, actually come together face to face for about an hour each week. Okay, so that's that's from the commencement of semester 1. So about 12 hours we'll spend together. And then of course there's the there's the Wikipedia editing workshop, which is about 3 hours. So about 15 hours will be face-to-face contact in terms of class time. So if you subtract that from 300, there's a lot of time that's spent doing group work, doing work online, and doing work individually in terms of researching for your projects. So let's have a look at this subject. As I said, it's 30 credit points, and it is a capstone subject. There are two readings that I've suggested might be helpful for this subject. The first is Evidence-Based Dentistry, Managing Information for Better Practice, and the second is Achieving Evidence-Based Practice, a handbook for practitioners. The first one is more recent, and that's prescribed. The second one is getting a little bit long in the tooth. Now there might be a third edition, I think, but both are available in the library or online, so you should use those as a reference for this subject. Let's have a look now at the learning outcomes, and you'll be pleased to know that there are only 6 learning outcomes. No, I beg your pardon. There are 7 learning outcomes. So 7 things that you need to be able to do, say, and value by the end of the subject. Let's have a look at each of these in turn. The first is to outline the various concepts of evidence-based practice. And if you've watched the introduction to evidence-based practice video, all of the information around the concepts of evidence-based practice are there, and of course your textbook is the other point of information for you to meet this outcome. The second learning outcome is related to what we will be doing in the sessions together and offline as groups, and that's to formulate answerable questions related to oral health practices and programs. So this is, remember, about asking really good questions, not so much being able to leap to the answer to problems or leaping into solution mode straight away, but it's about taking a step back and saying, what are the issues here? What are the actual important questions that we need to ask in order to help us resolve this problem or this challenge? And formulating good questions, as you've learnt in research methods, in second year is not as easy as it looks. So you need to structure those questions carefully, looking at the key variables and the concepts that you want to explore and relationships between the variables. So being very clear about what the question is a necessary prerequisite for being able to find useful information to help you resolve problems. So we'll be working on this in those practical classes. And of course drawing down the knowledge from research methods. The third is to devise efficient and effective strategies for locating and accessing evidence related to those questions that you previously asked. So again, we'll be drawing down on the skills that we've learned around retrieving or searching and retrieving information that's useful to us. And you would have done a lot of this in research methods, and hopefully you've also applied these searching for information and retrieval of information skills to your assignments. So that will be something that you will refine in this subject. Once we've retrieved the information after searching for it, we then need to make sense of it and determine the quality of the information. And again, in research methods, these are the skills that you would have picked up. So it's not just about finding a study that asks the question that you're interested in. It's about being able to synthesize information from multiple studies, put it all together, and then to assess the quality or usefulness of that information for helping you resolve the problems. So you can see very much a linear pathway: asking questions, searching and retrieving information, and then analysing and synthesising that information to bring to bear on the problem. So it's a logical pathway. Then once we've got our information, we then move to the next step in the evidence-based approach. Remember the 5 A's, and that's apply. So be able to incorporate evidence in a clinical setting. And this is hopefully what you will be able to demonstrate in your clinical placements, that you're able to incorporate evidence into the clinical setting as it relates to the patient care that you're providing, or programs that you're running in different settings, such as the residential care facilities, etc. We will also expect you to be able to plan evidence-based and evidence-informed strategies, and we've called them here health promotion and public health strategies for groups and populations, but they could equally be for individuals as well. And your case study, one of your assignments, will help you to really display that you have achieved this learning outcome. And the last one is related to incorporating inquiry and analytical skills with the necessary literacies to communicate effectively within the profession. So here it's about taking the information that we've found, thinking about how we might apply that, and then communicating that using technology or different media or mediums to communicate ideas effectively within the profession. So they're the 7 learning outcomes for this particular subject. And I hope that you can see that all of them are useful and related to the objectives of this particular subject. Let's look now at the class requirements. So there are 2 workshops, one of which is actually that online video, or these online videos that I'm making for you today. The second one is related to the Wikipedia editing, and so in the second week there will be a 3 to 4 hour workshop with an external expert in Wikipedia editing, who will work with you to develop the skills that are required for you to be able to edit a Wikipedia site. And the Wikipedia editing is one of the assignments that we expect you to complete. So that's an important workshop to come along to. We'll also have in weeks 10 to 22 those 1 hour sessions where we will come together and we'll work on one of those 3 steps. In the previous video you would have seen the structure that we will use to resolve the problems. So I will work with you, help you to develop questions and search strategies, help you to refine what it is you're doing, but most of the work will be done in groups away from the classroom. So you remember 300 hours you have for this subject. You need to schedule time to do that. We've also scheduled in your timetable 0.5 or half an hour of online class work per week. So this will be formal time that I would like you to set aside for you as a group to meet online, to discuss, plan, develop strategies and make decisions about what it is you're going to be doing in your group work. Now, probably the most important thing in students' minds is assessment. There are 3 assessment pieces in this subject. The first relates, and the second, are related to a case study. So I'll talk more later about what the case study assignment is, but it will be a clinical case study. It will be a person, a patient, or a family that you come across in your clinical placements with a particularly interesting problem or issue that requires resolution on your by you. So it will ask you, the problem will be one where you will need to bring to bear those skills around analysing the problem, asking the questions, retrieving information that's important to help you solve those questions, and then applying those in a clinical setting. So that will be your case or your case study. And there's 2 elements of assessment that relate to that case study work. So what we're going to ask you to do, we'll jump to assessment piece 2, we're going to ask you to actually write a report about the case. And the report will talk about the case itself, a description of the issue, an analysis of the important problems. It will then focus on possible solutions, so you'll need to go to the literature, to the scientific literature, to look at 1, what the problem means, what causes it, and 2, what's been used in the past to help other people to resolve this clinical issue for the patient or for patient groups. You'll then need to come up with a solution to that issue for the patient and then apply that to them, and then you'll need to evaluate whether that application of a solution has been successful in resolving that person's issue. So the case study will culminate in a 4,000 word report outlining all of those elements, and you'll be asked to then present that to your peers and to a number of external evaluators. So that will be at the end of the semester. There will be a formal presentation made and a report that will be submitted prior to that related to the same case. As a formative part of working towards that case study, I'm going to get you to submit a draft of your case study report. So it'll be a much shorter written report. And here we've suggested what it is we want to see in there. So the draft will include key questions, an introduction, an outline of the methods and materials that you're going to use in your case study, a description and clinical details of the person or the group of people that you're working with, and then a brief outline of some of the recent and relevant scientific journals or articles that you're going to use in your case study. So that will be submitted in advance of this report here so that I'm able to give you feedback on what it is you're doing. So this will occur quite early in the semester, and this will occur, this case presentation, at the end of the semester. We'll probably meet individually, you and I, together to talk about your progress towards completing your report and any issues that you might have. So make time to see me through the semester. So that's probably the substantial part of your assessment. So 55% is the actual report and the case presentation, and 25% of the grade or mark will be associated with your draft. The other thing will be, the other assessment piece is a group assignment, and this is worth 20% overall. And this is where you will work in groups of 4 or 5 students on a Wikipedia site. So you will be assigned a Wikipedia site that already exists, that's pretty rubbish, and your job will be to turn it into a high quality Wikipedia site with good evidence-based information on it that will be useful to people who access that site. I'll talk more about the Wikipedia assignment on another short video. But this will be a group group work, so you'll be assessed as a group, and I'll be assessing your contribution to the Wikipedia site. So the beautiful thing about Wikipedia sites is that I can track all of the contributions that each of the editors or authors makes to the site over time. So I'll be able to see all of your contributions individually. I'll also be asking you to engage in the talk function, which shows me the conversations that occur between the individual group members and possibly also external people around the content and what's going to go on the site. So I will make available to you the group membership, so you'll be put into groups, and I'll also assign to you a Wikipedia site which you'll be working on. I'll give that to you soon after you've completed your Wikipedia editing workshop, so you can start work on that immediately. My key message to you now is, with all these assignments, start now. Don't wait until 2 weeks before the end of the semester to start working on it. In fact, you won't be able to do that because this will be due into me well before that. So it's going to force you to start the work on these things early. But also start work on your Wikipedia site early, because contribution is what's going to get you a good mark there. The content or the quality of the content will also be looked at, but I'll be looking at the contribution that each group member makes to the site development. So it's very important that you start early.